check it. Hope you're all ready to get spooked on, because it's time for a Halloween video.
Can't I'll show half done.
And let's face it, this year there's not really been anything that's particularly spooktacular to sort of go for a review. But I don't know, I undenied about a couple of figures. Thought about making this video about Stalker, but that's simply because he's called Stalker and that's mildly creepy, and it's not really Halloween at all because he's brightly coloured. So I think the only real option to go for, out of the bots that are relatively recent enough that warrant a good squint at on the camera, is Adventure Nemesis Prime. I picked this guy up at Auto Assembly. I really wasn't planning to, and I guess I wasn't really even expecting to see any of these adventure lads there. But before I even begin and get into this, or get mildly spooky, I'm just going to say adventure really just beats RID over the head with a very large 2x4, because I looked at that Optimus version of this and it's just like, oh, it's just another Optimus Prime and he's small and he's deluxe, and no, could not be bothered or even look at it properly because it's like, it's not doing anything for me. And then I cast my eyes around the, I think it was ID Toys store, AA, and this was there, and that teal and silver just gleamed and caught my eye, and I was like, oh, that's metal. So I had to buy it. So what do I get for my 20 quid's worth of Takara import here? Well, it's just a monolith of dark might, isn't it? It's pretty much become a thing in my head that any Nemesis Prime is just epitomises a certain kind of character, much like his generation's predecessor. This guy sort of exudes a kind of dark paladin, rage-filled axe murderer, black knight feel, and I don't know, it's something that I only get from Nemesis Primes. I guess it just goes to show that if you paint something that looks fiercely heroic in an Optimus Prime and make it these colours, it's going to look fiercely fierce. Everything about subverting that red, white and blue, lovely freedom, patriotism, blah 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 deco into this just dark, drab, Darth Vader look, just makes this thing feel so angry. It's like you look at a Nemesis Prime and you know he's a really bad guy, not like the kind of tyrannical, ambitious bad guy that Megatron or Starscream is. He's a really bad guy because he will mess you up and he won't care, and he won't care what happens to himself either. He is insane. He's fueled by burning crimson rage. Of course, this one carries a burning crimson axe, which just makes him look even more threatening. Like he's just, gonna hack this into your skull on some dark moonlit night in the woods. But enough clutching at straws to find some Halloween imagery to talk about on this guy. What's the figure actually like as a robot? It's pretty nice, actually, yeah. I mean, he's got his big axe and he can, do axe things with it. The arms are a bit limited. They're kind of the main point of limitation here. He's got ball jointed elbows, so you get a bicep swivel and all this da-da-da-da. But no wrists, and his wrists sort of put a weird upwards sort of angle, so you can't really hold anything straight, and then you've got these bits in the way, which I hear is relatively easy to mod, so these chunks of truck fold out the way, but it does look like a future release of this mould in blue that comes with some weird minicon is going to do that anyway, so I don't know. It just does scream like Hasbro or Takara, or the whole lot of them were like, well, this bit should fold away, and then for whatever reason it didn't. So odd, but you can probably fix that yourself if you have a modicum of customising skill. The shoulders, though, where it gets a bit annoying, because yeah, they do that, but then to go outwards, you have to move them in the transformation joint, and it's like, it's all in there next to his neck, and it just does not look right at all. Talking about his neck, his head can swivel. You can kind of look up and make him look broken, because that's another transformation joint. He can't really look up or down, which is a bit of a shame, because I just wanted to sort of gaze balefully at creatures below him, but you can't really get that. Getting his mitts out of the way, you can really get into the below the waist kind of area of goodness, which happens with this figure. He's got a lovely waist swivel. It's not a transformation joint, but it's just great. And his legs are so long, it's just like kicking stuff, and that works really nicely. The hips do as well, because they just go everywhere, and his knees only bend 90, but it just feels like they bend loads because his legs are so big and long, and it just looks good. Yeah, certainly the legs on this guy are the best bit, because just look at these massive shins he's got, and he's just got huge feet. Put him down, he'll stand mightily, he just looks imposing. He is kind of plagued with the silly app scanny thing on his shoulder here, which is different to the ones that Hasbro do, because, I don't know, maybe phones in Japan are a bit different and works in strange ways. All the bits around the edge are different colours, and it's like, surely you'd need a camera with relatively good specs on your phone to pick up all these different colours in a ring on a tiny little circle on his shoulder here for the app to work properly. But whatever. And when it comes to being on a toy like this, having a little rainbow on his shoulder kind of takes away from the whole "I will murder you violently" look that he has going on. But whatever, all in all, it's a robot mode that I like. You can't really do a lot with it, but it just looks so good stood there, being menacing, and just, yeah, it's good. I'm certainly up for more Nemesis Primes in the future, because I'm getting a hell of a lot more out of this number than if it was an Optimus. Change it up! About this transformation then, it's pretty satisfying actually. I mean, I gotta say, of all of the, well, 3 RID Warrior molds I've handled, transformations just feel good and fun and easy, and they're satisfying. You just want to pick it up and change it around, and that is certainly true for this figure as well. It's just so quick and easy, but it does a lot because it's just got big flips and big panels that go around and make the sides out of his legs, and the way the arms fold up, it's all so very simple, and it takes like 30 seconds, but it feels great, and it feels like it's been a little while, not really that long, but a little while since I've had a Transformer that transforms in such a downright Transformers-y way. It's all solid connections, and to be perfectly honest, the whole thing feels pretty solid. There's only like 2 ball joints in it, and everything else is pins and solid build, and it probably has quite a bit nicer plastic than you'll find after Hasbro Optimus Prime, so go into car. How do you make a long-nosed truck look even more threatening without painting it up like the one from Duel? Paint it pitch black and give it a red windshield. Yeah, this is pretty beastly. It's giving me a little bit of a Motormaster vibe, simply because this thing seems to contain its own trailer, and I don't know really how to feel about that. It's cool, because it feels like it's been a good decade since we had an Optimus Prime that always has a trailer, and I guess this is an example of that, but we're talking about Nemesis Prime here, and this is just lovely. Look at all this teal going on the side, all shiny like that. And all the wheels painted, and all the grill is painted, and there's loads of paint everywhere, but it still just drips this obsidian sheen, and it's really quite nice. As deluxe alt modes go, it's a bit narrow and a bit long, and there's a big hole in the top, and these are obviously legs and feet. But don't look at that. The kind of uncharacteristically unspecific move from Takara, the instructions tell you to put the axe just somewhere between his legs. Doesn't tell you where it goes at all, and there are like various things on this that look like they could be clips and go somewhere particular, and there's like a weird notch in the top here, and is that something to do with it? And I've got no idea, and it took me, honestly, a good couple of weeks to actually realise that what you're supposed to do is take this notch in the middle and put it over 2 little pegs that kind of jut out from his legs in the middle there, but don't actually touch, and then it kind of sits like that, and it's kind of a gun turret, maybe? I don't know. It's just a thing wedged in the top of a truck, and I don't know what it's supposed to look like, and it doesn't really sit in there very well, and it'll probably fall out if you're not careful enough, and I don't like it. But at least it's better than just sticking it on the top like that or something, so there's a point there somewhere. So, final thoughts then. Let's put it this way. This design, this thing, this mould, this set of angles and shapes that you have here, I'm not going to be associating that with RID Optimus Prime really for any extensive stretch of time, because this thing has had such a sort of visual impact on me, just standing there on my desk, that no, this is Nemesis Prime now to me. This is the only proper Nemesis Prime I've got. The other one is just a little Legends one. This feels like a proper incarnation of this maleficent thing that is Nemesis Prime, and bar the sort of Armada one, I think it's probably the best I'm going to do anytime soon. What really helps is that I have just not touched the Optimus version of this, which lets this guy be a properly, uniquely defined Nemesis Prime. He's not an Optimus repaint to me, because I don't have the Optimus he's a repaint of. He's a strong independent black repaint who don't need no red version, and I think he's definitely worth a little bit of your cash. very helpfully, these adventure guys don't really tend to rack up the kind of importy cost that lots of other Takara Deluxes do, so you might be able to find them for like 15 quid, and let's face it, that's about as much as you'd spend on a combiner limb, so I would say if you're feeling a bit bad, then take a punt, you might enjoy it. Oh dear Nemesis, this was the least spooky Halloween review ever, wasn't it? Oh well, have a good Halloween, and remember, don't let those demonic forces from the fifth dimension take you away to fuel their spice mines. Ta-ra.
Das Sieg!